Hello, old lady in the mud house. Doing the second layer of clay on my straw insulation. Wanted to give you an update on that. So here we go. All right. We have our pile of dirt over there, full of rocks and sticks. Okay. I had to. No, the first layer I didn't care about pebbles, so I used this 1/2 inch. I can stick my finger in there. 1/2 inch screen. Now I'm doing the second layer. I don't want the stones in there. They make a mess. This is 1/4 inch, so only little tiny pebbles can go on there. It's I'm not sure the recipe, but you've got sand, clay, and soil. I think it was 2 parts sand, 1 part clay, but I got soil with sand in it, so that doesn't apply to me. And 1/2 of a bucket, whatever bucket you're using, measure your own bucket, chopped up straw. This straw I put in a 30-gallon garbage can and used a string weed whacker to chop it up. So it's pretty small. Some of it's big, but most of it's just little pieces. And it helps keep it from cracking. So always mix your mixture first before adding water. You can't determine how much water because this soil is damp. Some is dry as a bone. So you just have to mix it to a pudding or plaster consistency. So when you add water, it just turns to mud and you can't tell whether there's a clump of sand or, yep, see, there's still a clump of straw in there. I want to mix that thoroughly. Okay, now, once you have your mixture mixed real well, a very big tip. I don't know if you've ever done cement work, mixed it in your wheelbarrow. When you're almost perfect consistency, but you need a little more water, trust me, put a little cup at a time because it's real easy to overdo it. So I just did that. So always have a bucket of mixed sand, and this is subsoil, not topsoil. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that, but anyway. So I had to put some more sifted soil in the mix to dry it out some. And as time goes on, the soil will soak up some more of that moisture. So while you're working, it may get a little stiff. So you may have to add a little more. You just have to keep an eye on it. All right, so next project is putting the second layer on. Okay, this is what you call leather dry. It's still flexible. That's what they call clay. It's leather dry, and you can do another layer right on top of that, but I wasn't here, so I had to wait an extra day, and you can see a lot of this is dried out a little too much. So in order for your next layer of clay to stick really well to this, because we don't want it falling apart in chunks, I had to spray it. So I have a water sprayer, and I already did this piece, and I sprayed it on so that it started to drip. Then I came back 5 minutes later and put another layer of mist on that. It didn't quite drip, but it's pretty moist. So this next layer is pretty wet, and I want them to bond together before this layer dries. So, all right, so my tools. Same tools as you would for spackling. I have a variety here that I do use. This is called a Hawk. It's made out of aluminum. It has a handle. Any board with a screwed, a handle on the bottom so that your whole arm is supporting this, because it gets heavy. So you can improvise, obviously. So this is a trowel for putting on glue on the floor or wall or whatever. And I'm going to use this straight edge on the bottom to put it on the wall. And you just fill this up with clay and lean it up against the wall, and then I just lay this in there and just take little bits and scrape it to the wall and pull up. I find that's the easiest. Most of it doesn't drop on the ground, because that's another thing where you lose a lot of it. So you can do that. You can do that same motion with, I use this for putting up the block wall foundation. Got it at $1 for a yard sale. It's pretty well used. It used to have a point on it. It's very round. So anyway, there's that one. And then I have a smaller one that I like to use because my arm isn't that strong anymore. So smaller. Same process. I use that one to put up brick. So let me pick that out. It was a stone. Another stone. Okay, wanted to show you what it looked like. So, let's see. Of course, there's indentations where there's not as much. This is where stone was. That's why the second layer I definitely use the smaller screen. But see the straw there, and that should dry out pretty well. I would say, well, let me stick my finger. I don't know, there's about 1/4 of an inch on there. I could go a little heavier, but the heavier you go, the worse the cracking. This had no straw in it. This is just the straw insulation that's poking through. So you see how thin I put that. I was just getting that first layer on so I could continue. There you go. This over here, no straw in it, and second layer, and it's way too thick. So, all right. Hopefully, hopefully that helps. Learn by doing. Some soils are easier to work with. Mine has only like 10% clay, so once I get further out and I want a smoother finish, I will add more clay to it instead of using just the subsoil. All right, well, everybody, have a great day and play in the mud.